Hey everyone, my name is Stephanie Brown. I'm a full-time artist living in Metro Atlanta. And this series, we are going through an incredible journey with my good friend Jessica Bethel about how to create your own solo exhibition from start to finish, from idea to execution, from a flitter in your mind to walking in on your opening night. All right. In today's episode of this mini series, I'm talking to you about how to introduce yourself to a new city. Now, I'm originally from South Florida. If you've been following my journey, you know that I am Jamaican. I grew up in South Florida, went to college in Savannah, Georgia, and also University of Michigan. And over time, I found my way back to Georgia, and I've been living in the Atlanta area for quite some time now. Now, through my career as an artist, it's been important to me to introduce myself to a variety of audiences. And one city in particular that has been on my heart for a very long time is Los Angeles. Okay. I've got a sweet spot for LA. I love it so much dearly. It's a place that I've really enjoyed with my husband too, because he's from New York and I'm from South Florida. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. We get palm trees and beaches, but also like a legit city and urban vibe. I actually went to LA for the first time in 2018. So as I'm kind of sharing this story, I think the key thing I also want you to take away is that not that it takes a long time, but when you want something, just every little inch and every little step really goes a long way to helping you achieve that. Okay. Okay. So this is the story. How did I introduce myself to a new city like Los Angeles? I've never lived in California. I've never lived in LA, but I've always had an interest and a desire of showcasing my art there because since the first time I visited, which was in 2018, I just felt this synergy and this energy there. My art was so well received. The people were great. I just really liked the vibe. And it's a place that I always felt that I could see my art existing in, not just in Los Angeles, but also in the Bay Area too. Really, honestly, all of California has given me this vibe. There's not a city I've been to there yet that hasn't given me this. So anyway, back to the story. Okay, so in 2018, I was actually finishing up my master's program at University of Michigan, and I applied to present at the CAA conference. CAA stands for College Art Association, which I was a member at the time. Now, they do like an artist vendorish kind of showcase during their annual conferences. And their conferences go to different cities every year, but that year in particular was going to be in Los Angeles. So I strategically applied that year because I wanted to visit LA and I wanted to be able to showcase my work in LA. And I actually was able to apply for a grant from the University of Michigan to help pay my way for myself to go, and my husband, fiance at the time, was able to join me. So that was the very first time I spent any amount of time in LA. While I was there, what did I do? I met with some companies and contacts that I had met through the University of Michigan. I visited CAM. I was also expanding on another body of work called Do Not Bleach. So if you look really closely at some of my images in that body of work, there are portraits that I took while I was in Los Angeles. I met with a good friend of mine from undergrad who was living there now. And it was so great to get like her perspective of the town and some of her favorite places. All of that really helped inform me about the art and community in Los Angeles. And it really just made me fall in love with it even more. Okay, so fast forward, I never had another opportunity to necessarily exhibit there. I also wasn't trying super hard to exhibit there because it's quite costly to get there in the first place. So I think it was in 2023, I was really trying to be strategic about what other cities and spaces have I not shown in? Where do I want to continue to exhibit my work? And of course, Los Angeles came up again. I really want to make sure I'm at a point in my career where I want to make sure I have a strong presence in a variety of big cities, especially. That includes international as well. And I've had opportunities. I've exhibited in London twice now. I've exhibited, in other countries like Mexico. Now I can say I've exhibited in Jamaica. So, I've already have a reputation of showcasing my work internationally and nationally. And now I wanted to get even more strategic and specific about targeting specific cities. And Los Angeles was top on my list. So that's kind of where all of this started. I reached out to Jess, who had moved to LA, and she was starting to get into curation. And I was like, hey, I really want to have a solo show here. That's what I want to do. How do I introduce myself to the city? And the first thing we were thinking about, we got to get you in a group show. So when we started having our early conversations with Sovereign LA, which is the gallery that my exhibition is going to be at, they actually let us know about an upcoming photography group show that was going to be happening, and they invited me to apply. When someone invites you to apply to something, please apply. Like, no matter what, you were invited for a reason, so please apply. So in April of 2024, I was a part of a group exhibition called Seeing Self. It's listed on my website underneath exhibits. And that was the first group show that I was a part of in Los Angeles. Now, unfortunately, I was hella pregnant and not able to attend that exhibition opening, but I got great footage of my work being there. And that was the first time that the art community in LA was introduced to my work. So that was just kind of like the first sampling, right? Then I applied to the Other Art Fair. The Other Art Fair is an artist-led fair where artists can apply for booths instead of galleries, so it kind of flips that business model. And they have locations for the Other Art Fair all across the US. They even have a couple international ones. Again, I'm being strategic. I really want to show in LA. So I applied to the Other Art Fair LA specifically. If I was going to spend that money, I wanted it to make sure that it was going to be in a space where I can continue to cultivate an audience in Los Angeles. Now, while I was there, actually leading up to my time there, I made a list of galleries that I would really love to show at and work with in Los Angeles. I made a list of curators, specifically Black women curators or photography specific curators in the LA area that I like or would be interested in working with, or who have interest in similar themes that my work touches. I made a list of all of these people. And then I essentially set like business hours. I could have just been in LA, the day before the fair and the day after, and that's it. But I intentionally spent a week. One, I set aside a week because I was coming there with like a 10-month-old, and everything was going to take me a long time. And two, I decided to spend a week because I was there to do business, not just the Other Art Fair, but I wanted to have opportunities to meet with people and have that downtime. That downtime is where the magic happens, where you just kind of stumble upon people, rub shoulders with someone, get a quick coffee or tea. And if you don't have the downtime, then you miss out on those opportunities. Now, crazy enough, I guess this was just how it was meant to be. I didn't get any meetings. So I emailed everyone on this list and I didn't get any responses at the time. And, I spent my downtime really just preparing for the exhibit, which I used most of that time to do so. Because again, I was traveling with the baby and that took a lot of time. And I got to build relationships with my friend Jessica's friends because I got to hang out with them. So I got to see some family and other things. So it was still time well spent. Now, during the other art fair, I was building a mailing list. Okay. So I had a notebook and pen, and I was collecting people's names and email addresses. If you're not going to buy my art, but you're going to engage with it, at least leave me your email address, right? So that was something that I was doing. While I was at the other art fair, I was fortunate enough to sell 2 art pieces. So I got to add 2 collectors to my collector community, which I appreciate them so much. And they were also my first California-based collectors. Now, the whole idea of having this mailing list is that I know I plan on returning to the Los Angeles area. So now when I go back to the Los Angeles area, I have a mailing list of people to reach out to be like, hey, I'm coming back. And this is where you can see me, or this is where you can see my art. Here's another opportunity to collect my art or to see more of my work. Maybe you didn't get to collect before. Maybe you want to collect again. You never know where people are at. Now, the other beautiful thing is that from the other art fair, I was able to develop a relationship with a group called the Novo Collective. And I met one of the co-founders at the art fair. I also got to start to build a relationship with the director of Los Angeles Center of Photography, who was also at the other art fair. And we had a great conversation. The organizers of the fair are based in the LA area, and we had great conversations. All of these people and all of these new contacts are now new points of contact that I have in the LA area. Do you see a trend here, right? We're building community even from afar. Every visit is an opportunity to connect and reconnect, okay? Now, remember that email list that I sent out? They're essentially cold emails to all of these people. Well, after the fair, the very lovely Taylor by the Wood Porter, curator, writer based in the LA area, emailed me back and apologized for not being able to attend my show at the other art fair, but she said that she would love to have a virtual studio visit, which was incredible. And after the other art fair, I was able to schedule that with her. And I also was able to schedule a virtual studio visit with Rotem, which is the director of LACP. She then connected me to some other people who I got to have virtual studio visits with. So one opportunity truly begets the other. And it's a numbers game. I probably sent like 35 emails, and Taylor's the only one that responded to me. But guess what? We had a great, informal, informational kind of chat. We really got to know each other. And then I had an opportunity to bring her on a project with the Novo Collective, which she did. And then now that I've got my solo exhibition in LA, I needed a moderator for my talk. Well, who better than my new contact there that really gelled with me and really understood my work and seemed to appreciate my work. So it's truly a beautiful full circle moment that I'll be able to have Taylor be the moderator of my artist talk for my first solo exhibition. It's truly an honor for me. And I'm excited to, kind of step into this journey and continue the momentum of my art practice right now in my career with her support. So that was my story of how I really plotted and planned to introduce myself to a new city like Los Angeles. Chicago, New York, you're next. But for now, LA was the center goal, and I'm really excited to be able to achieve that. Now, everything from my story kind of broken down. My favorite number is 5, y'all. So you're going to get that a lot. Okay. Here are 5 tips and methods on how you can introduce yourself to a new city. Okay. Number 1, apply to exhibitions. Apply to open exhibitions in the new city that you want to demonstrate or showcase your work in. A lot of the big cities are quite insular, right? So they want to see local artists. They're not often open to outside artists, but you'd be surprised. Those opportunities are out there. And the best way for you to see them is to just be on the lookout for them. And also start following galleries, museums, and other exhibiting spaces in that area. That's my other tip for you. Follow galleries, museums, etc. in the city that you want to show in. Also, look at other artists that you resonate with or that your work might be in conversation with. Have they exhibited in your city before? Wherever they've exhibited at, in the target city of your dreams and your desires, that's probably a space that might be open to your work. So join those mailing lists, follow them on social, so that when they do have those open calls, you'll be aware. It's also good to follow the curators and gallerists in that area too, because again, they might be coordinating a show that you want to be a part of, or they might repost another opportunity in their local community that is actually open to outside artists that you can apply to. Tip number 3 is visit intentionally. Okay, visit intentionally. Visit with friends who live there. If you don't know anybody there, make some friends, make some internet friends, build some connections, let them be genuine. It's those genuine relationships that really beget other opportunities. And if you have any friends or family who live in the target city that you want to be in, it's great to get the inside scoop, a local's perspective of that community, the things to do, where do people go to see art, experience art, all of those questions you can get answered by visiting intentionally with friends or family in your target city. The other is attend major exhibitions that come to that city. I don't think, personally, I don't think that opening nights are the best spaces to have conversations, but they are opportunities to rub shoulders with some higher profile people, with people that maybe it's harder to get on their calendars. And if you can get a business card or a postcard in their hand and collect their information too, then, that's a big win. And that's worth the time and effort of attending a big show opening or something of that nature. The other thing to consider is conferences, right? So that was my entry point to Los Angeles. I intentionally looked up a conference that I was a member of. I became a member, applied to this opportunity, and through applying for that opportunity and applying for additional funding, that helped pay my way to be able to go. So, that's another thing to think about too. If cost is a barrier for you visiting this place intentionally, well, think about other opportunities that can bring you to that city. It also could be an art residency, right? Or a professional conference. It doesn't necessarily even have to be art related. What are some other areas and specialties that you're in? And do they have any conferences or meetups in that target city that you want to exhibit in? Okay, number 4, send emails to schedule meetups. So ahead of your visits, or even if you don't plan on visiting, because that's the reality too. Like, if you don't have childcare or if you don't have the means to visit that city, that doesn't mean you can't build relationships online, right? The people might be too busy to meet with you in person anyway. So it doesn't hurt to still make that list of people that you'd like to work with in that target city and send emails introducing yourself and let them know, like, hey, I love your town. I love your community. I'm really interested in building relationships there. I'd love to have an informal meeting with you. I'd love to have a virtual studio visit with you if you're open to it. That's essentially what my email said. I was just like, hey, my name is Stephanie Brown. Here's 2 sentences about me and my artwork. I'm coming to Los Angeles during this time period. Or if you're not traveling to that city, then you can just say, I have a goal, or, I have a strong desire to want to showcase my work in insert name of said city. And this is why. I'd love to pick your brain about opportunities. I'd love to share more about my practice with you if you are interested. Here's a link to my website and my socials. Here's a link to schedule with me. Please reply with your, soonest availability. In a nutshell, So let's run down this list, okay? So you're going to to introduce yourself to a new city. You're going to apply to exhibition opportunities in that city. You're going to visit intentionally. You're going to follow galleries, museums, the curators, etc., that live and work in the target city that you're interested in. You are going to make a list of people to email, and you're going to email those people to try to schedule virtual studio visits, or if you plan on visiting in person, try to schedule in-person meetups. And the last thing is, with any opportunity you get, share and collect contacts. That's period. Not just if you are visiting that target city, but in a general sense. Any opportunity that you have to share your contact information with someone who's interested in your work or who might be a resource to you, or someone that you just think is dope, share it. Slide them a postcard, slide them a business card, and collect their contact information. That part is key. Everybody is busy. Not everyone is best at the admin side of their lives, and people genuinely forget, okay? So don't give someone your business card or your postcard and wait for them to email you or to text you. Please collect their information as well, so that after your trip or after you've met them, you can send them a note or an email, however it is that they said that they prefer to be contacted, and you can reach out to them. Oh my goodness, I ran into you at this coffee shop. So great meeting you. You know, we chatted about maybe having a conversation. This is my availability next week, or, you know, whatever. Send whatever kind of follow-ups, but you'd be surprised the number of people who don't follow up, who get a business card, who get a contact, who get this open invitation from someone who's interested in their work and their practice to say, hey, reach out to me, and they don't. Okay. So definitely be the person who not only shares contacts, but also collects it and follows up. All right. I hope that was helpful. I'm so curious to know, what city do you want to see your artwork in? What's a place that you've been dreaming about exhibiting in that you haven't gotten to yet? Please let me know in the comments below what city you want to see your art in next. See you on the next one, everyone. Bye.